Everybody, it's Grant, and today we are going to be talking about everything from the looming recession, how my portfolio was at like negative $360,000, and now we're just below being negative $300,000, and so much more in this video. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about in today's video is the fact that the Dow has been flirting with going below and above 30,000 points. You might have a different opinion about how you track the stock market, but overall, I like to track unemployment. I like to track the Dow because it is the biggest, scariest number on the board, or the biggest, exciting number on the board, and that's where the majority pays attention to. And then I also like to kind of just read up on individual companies that I very much care about and I invest in personally, so I can make sure they aren't going to just say, you know what, we tried during a very hard economic time. And lastly, on those same companies on the same other side of the coin, I want to make sure if they're releasing some kind of news or whatever is going to happen next, that I can get ahead of it a little bit. Maybe kind of listen to the rumors when they turn into a reality. So if I'm going to buy more, or something's going to go to a big jump, which is rare, let's just be honest. But in the event that Carnival was like, hey, we're about to have the most profitable year ever, boom. I want to know about that, so that way when I finally get to be able to make a return on my Carnival stock, I know it's coming. But let's talk about why we're going to continue to be in this situation or issue, and the kind of gray area that we're not going to get the most solid information because it is an election year. And then the other thing we need to talk about is just what to do during this different economic time. So the first thing on this list is why we are where we are. Record high inflation, which is basically building materials, food, gas, which has come down a little bit. We've kind of stopped fussing about that. And then you have car prices. Everyone's overpaying for building materials, labor, car prices, food, drinks, everything. And that's also transferring over to the businesses that are having to pay way more for their food, having to pay way more to change their menu prices. That's expensive to go buy all new menus when you're kind of like, maybe it'll go back down. But I'll tell you this, in Main Squeeze, we've had to actually buy menu prices 2 new times. That's like $1,500 per store each time, because we had to go up 50 cents or $1, because juice is so expensive to make. Fruits, vegetables, those things aren't cheap. So just keep in mind, things like that are going to continue to cause problems. The more businesses make less money, the less they're going to start hiring, the more they're going to start laying off, and the less they'll be able to pay us as workers. So just keep that in mind as we go as well. The next thing we got to worry about, politicians. It's almost an election year. And what does that mean? What does that mean? That means that one side's going to say it's bad and the other side's going to say it's good, and only one side's being honest, because one side's trying to protect what they've built or not so much built. And let's be honest, in the current administration, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, most Democrats do not have faith in what Biden is doing. And I'll tell you, it's genuinely concerning. So once again, not a political statement, but regardless, if you're a Democrat or Republican, I don't think any of us think Biden's our guy. My main point to this is the Democrats are going to say that there's no problem, and the Republicans are going to be pushing that there's a major problem. Which one is telling the truth? Well, right now, I would tell you that the Democrats would be telling you a false statement if they were saying nothing's wrong, the economy is going to be great, it's going to be short and swift. And with that situation, it's hard to pinpoint an actual recession, because when the election's over, then does the bottom fall out? Or did they get real lucky and it gets fixed? So politics I can't stand, but that would be the main concern I have, is not getting the right information because one party or the other party is in power. All right, the next thing, what should we do during this economic time before we go into my portfolio? What should we do? Yeah, I don't know if you're ready for this. Right now, you need to be hunkering down on your expenses. Sit down at your beautiful boardroom table, your kitchen table. Figure out what you're spending on everything. Write it all down. Even energy drinks, coffee, cigarettes if you smoke, chewing tobacco. All that frickin' vice stuff that we absolutely love, and we justify with our egos on why we need it because we've had such a hard day. For freaking sure, alcohol. I was losing my word there, but yeah. Well, my point is, you got to figure out exactly what you're spending, so that way you can look at it and go, who in the did this? Maybe even do a 3-month average if you have more income, more disposable income, because you can see if you went a little YOLO that month, a little conservative that month, and a little bit just enjoyable that month. And that way you can get a good understanding on a 3-month average of what you're actually spending. You can do this through Mint. You can do this through an Excel spreadsheet with your credit card statements. Whatever you need to do, you can go get QuickBooks, however you need to do it. That's what you need to do. Then you start cutting back. You start cutting back and saying, look, in the event a recession happens and I either get laid off and or do I need to tap into my emergency fund, right? Do I need to make less? The typical rule of thumb if you do not get laid off during a recession is you will make 30% less if you're on a commission-based job. That means people are getting laid off, there's less people buying, and there's less people selling. It's just how it goes. Now, silver lining for you salespeople out there, when you learn to work through hard times, you are even better when the good times come back. So keep that in mind. There is always a silver lining to every freaking cloud or cloudy day. We need to make sure we're budgeting. We need to start setting money aside so we can survive the recession. And if you end up being lucky and you do not get laid off, you end up being really lucky and not get laid off and not make 30% less, or you even make more, it's time to start investing that money after you have an emergency fund. Because just because you didn't get laid off today doesn't mean you might not get laid off tomorrow. So you want to make sure that you are prepared regardless of whatever comes your way. You are the CEO of your own life, and you are responsible for what happens during this time. And remember, I tell you this all the time. The recessions can be the greatest wealth building tool of your time because everything is on a fire sale. Everything. The scared sell, and then the strong buy, and the scared are mad that they made all these bad decisions, and the strong said, well, I'm glad you did. So for example, if you buy a company that has been battened down by a recession in, October of this month, they were here, and then after a recession really comes through and they drop down to here. Now, if you think that company's still strong, great. Buy them, invest in them. Make sure that you do that. Also diversify, so that way if you are wrong, you're not wrong on all sectors. And if you don't like buying individual companies, buy something that tracks the S&P 500 and make a mutual fund your now prime investment. And then just keep putting into that every single month. And that divides your risk over a bunch of companies to where your risk is very, very minute. All right, so now that I've given you a couple tips, I've given you my thoughts, I've told you why we're gonna continue doing what we're doing. Oh my gosh, and one last thing on why we're gonna continue to go where we're going. Folks, I will never understand the reasoning behind a 7%, 6.5% housing interest rate besides to really screw up a lot of stuff. Folks, right now I'll tell you this, about $400,000 home. That's about a median average across America because California can't buy any one bedroom for $1 million. I'm just joking, kinda, maybe. But anyway, that's a really nice home there. It's not a very nice home over there. But here's the thing. If you do that, and you have a 6.5% interest rate versus a 3% interest rate, that's like $750 additionally tacked onto your note and just interest alone. Now, that's rough numbers. I'm not saying I'm right on that. I didn't pull it up and do the calculation, but it's close. How insane is that? So that means the home builder profit's going to get a lot skinnier. The things that people want to do their houses are going to get a lot smaller because the banks are going to be making that much more interest just because they're trying to slow down the economy. I'm just saying, whenever you have politicians who have never run a business running the country, it's kind of concerning. I don't want a lifetime politician running my businesses. I don't want that. They don't know. They spend like YOLO. It's like a rich kid with a trust fund. Money just don't run out, huh, Dad? Right, huh, Mom? So anyway, big concern. Let's go into today's little look-see-daisy. So here we are in my computer, and as you can see, I am down still, not quite $365,000, but I am down $274,000. My net account value was, when we did like 3 videos ago, 1.4, 1.5 million. It's been as high as almost 2 million or over 2 million, but I've sold a lot of stuff. This year we took some profits, pretty solid. Took over $505,000 in profits this year, so pretty cool to do that. Also remember, look, when I'm showing you these videos, you got to realize your tolerance. You got to realize your stomach for tolerance. I've told you this a few times. Invest $100. If you freak out, your tolerance isn't very high if your stuff goes down 50%. But a stock is not a profit or a loss until you sell. I was up $200,000 on AMC, didn't sell it. Still a little bitter, but that wasn't a profit. That was just that one time that could have been a profit. And now on AMC, I am down. Let me just click the days gain. No, total gain. Yeah. There we go, $37,626. So basically I could have made 200 grand and bought in a way lot cheaper later on with the house's money. So sometimes YOLO is a very, very, very dumb idea. Actually, all times YOLO is a very dumb idea. Sorry. There's a pro tip right there. All right. So let's get into it. My actual losses right now, SPXU, $114,000 of a loss. I'm actually going to be buying more in a future video. SNDL, I am down at $92,578. Carnival Cruise Line down $59,800. HMBL, I don't even know what I was thinking, but yeah, look at here, $51,600. I mean, it's worth 96% less when I bought it. Yeah. AMC down $37,600. APE is down $36,000, and then it just kind of continues. Let's go and look at some gains. GUSH has been my portfolio prop up. Let's go with that. Up 140,000. MGM up 19,600. Wells Fargo is 18,700. Royal Cruise Line is 13,000. Maybe buying all of these cruise lines again. I waited a little bit. I should have bought, but I kind of do these things with you guys. So I don't really buy anything unless I jump on the computer, turn it on, and let you see how I invest my money so you can better invest yours. So that being said, I got a lot of cost averaging to do. And let's see what kind of cash we're sitting on the side. I think it's 280,000. No. Okay, it's 228,000. One, know the cash that you have sitting on the side. But I can always put a little cash influx in there if I needed to, but I would rather not. Also, investment strategies will come from my personal side to the next video I'm going to do, where I'm actually going to be buying some more stocks. But I gave you a lot of information in this one I think is really good. So I'm going to be telling you how I'm thinking, how I'm going to invest and what kind of cash I want to keep on the side to be able to make sure I take advantage of this recession, right, if we actually go into that. So all that being said, hope you guys have a fantastic afternoon. I will see you on the next one, and I 100% believe in you.